middle school, I started to read more. I remember there was a Christian bookstore that my mom took my brother and I a
Hmm.
lot. Yeah, I would look through a bunch of things. A lot of times it was just, I would get a book because I liked the cover and
Right.
then see if I could get through it. What excited me when I discovered them because of the covers was the Cooper Kids series by Frank Peretti.
Hmm.
And we bought it was Escape from the Island of Aquarius. And my gosh, like just recalling the stories in those books, those were some fun stories. Escape from the Island of Aquarius was there's this island and there's a cult on it, and they go to this island and somehow basically it winds up with the island is basically like going to sink, and the cult, they worship a giant snake,
Hmm.
and like they were gonna feed one of the Cooper kids to it as a sacrifice. And
That's so cool.
yeah, and like their dad is like an Indiana Jones type character, and he has a 357 Magnum. He like destroys like a cobra with it. Like they literally describes how like the snake just like exploded after it got hit by yeah, I loved reading that. And there was like The Door in the Dragon's Throat, which is about a literal gate to hell.
Hmm.
There's the one about the Nephilim,
Wow.
has to do with
Somebody get
that.
Wendigoon on the horn.
Oh yeah, there's some really interesting concepts in some of them, like the ghost of Annie Murphy posited a theory about ghosts by saying like that maybe there's holes in time where they cross over. And so like this ghost town, the kids are getting lost in the past. There's a scene where the kids suddenly are through the floor of the old building, and they're running around, and like a woman from the 1800s, she's like screaming and like banging on these ghost children with a broom.
Oh my
um
goodness.
and it was like,
Wow.
that's really cool. It's almost like saying like time is also subject to the fallen state,
Yeah.
and like it has like these holes in it.
It's
And
genius.
yeah, amazing. And then there was another one called The Deadly Curse of Toko Ray, about these like flying slugs that look like little manta rays, and they have this ooze that makes people go crazy. And but these book covers were phenomenal.
Hmm.
These painted book covers, that's what like really sold me. But I read the books, and I was like, I remember
Man.
reading one of them on the bus ride home from middle school,
Hmm.
while one of my neighbor Teddy was like sitting next to me, and I was like getting super into it because it was a really suspenseful part. And I
Hmm.
remember just like screaming and like in like suspense
Wow.
on the bus.
Man, I missed out, dude. Like at my church's library, they had all the Cooper Kids books, and I thought they looked cool, but they also had Frank Peretti's adult books, and me trying to sort of, read above my station. I went to the adult Frank Peretti books, which I read some of them, and some of them were interesting, some of them didn't grab me at all, but just if I had only just gone, if I'd humbled myself and actually read, the Cooper Kids books, I know I would have loved them. And
Oh gosh, yeah.
yeah,
I
I
almost
missed out.
want to like revisit them. I feel like I would still get something out of them
Hmm.
because the stories. Oh yeah, there's one called Trapped at the Bottom of the Sea, where the girl Lila basically is on a cargo ship that's coming back home, but it gets hijacked. So somebody has her hide in this pod, this like airtight pod that has some experimental weapons in it, and the plane blows up. And so this pod is like falls into the ocean, and her brother and father have to like figure out how to like get to her, like what happened to her. Meanwhile, she discovers that inside the pod is a laser, and she basically like has to make this decision to cut herself out, and she
Oh
doesn't know
my
how deep she
goodness.
is.
That's
Like
incredible.
some like great stuff.